Duramax strikes again, you guys. It's acting up again. The shift light under the neutral safety switch, it seems like it's bad. I think I'm just gonna have to go down and buy a brand new one, but it's saying system voltage low and it's not picking up. The alternator is charging, the battery's charging. I don't know what happened now, but it strikes again. I'm gonna put a video on what it's doing right after this one, but yeah, it just died, so I'm gonna be daily driving the 4-door again. Look at that bad boy. It's painted. Oh, don't look at the inside. Or don't look at that dent or that run mark. It's painted all one color except for the roof and inside the bed. And the overspray. It's fine. Don't look at any of that, but look how shiny it is. There's those turbo cans. Those turbo cans is it's a new way to paint, because those little dinky cans like this big, those ones suck. But those turbo cans, you guys seen it, or you'll see a video of it. It's probably already out, but it's the way. Look at that, it's painted. So I pulled the plug off on the transmission and cleaned it with some brake clean, and I thought I fixed it, but I went to go clear the code out and it's still gone. It came back and I was like, oh, I fixed it. So I cleared all the codes, and then as soon as I cleared the codes, it came, I started it and then put it in gear and it was gone. So it didn't fix it, but I found this problem. So from the battery to this little jumper wire that goes to the alternator, it's getting like 6 volts with my little scanner, or the little power probe, or 0.5 point, like it's jumping around everywhere. Once in a while it'll jump to 14, if you can see that. Freaking weird. So I tested it here, like on my battery, it's reading 14.4, and I tested it down here, 14.4, tested on there, 14.4, and tested my ground, it's got ground. So means this wire is corroded internally. I got a jumper cable wire right here. It's reading 14.4, but you hold it on this, it will jump around everywhere. See? As soon as I clip it on, jumping around everywhere. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna pull this alternator off and go down and test it. See if it's just got a bad whatever. Something's going on. See if it's a bad alternator, or maybe just pull these wires off and clean the terminals maybe. I don't know. But it cranks fine, it's charged, it seems 14. That's the weird part, is I just randomly checked that and that's what it was saying right there. So I don't know, maybe the wire is bad. Really stiff right here. Like corrosion maybe. You can see that. I can't even bend it. Over here I can bend it. All right, here we are again, the old Duramax. I unhooked the alternator, and then I get all my power back right here with the power probe back to 12 volts. and I plug it back in and it does that weird funky thing again. So I'm gonna drop this in. I got another one from CarQuest, they had one. So I'm gonna drop this one in here and see what that does. So here we go. These have the little things in, they tighten up, and then this goes in on both sides and it holds the alternator in place, and they're a royal pain in the butt sometimes. But after you have it out, you can just kind of give it a love tap, not to break the ear off, and drop it in place. So I got the new alternator in, same problem, even right now. I'm gonna jump over here to the battery. Good. So I pull this cover off to trace this wire out that goes to the fuse panel, and that checks out to be okay. 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 This is when you know it's bad. That noise. But everything seems to be checking out in here. I don't know. If you guys know, let me know. So if I unplug the alternator, it does the same thing. It reads 12 volts right here. That's a brand new alternator. And the old one, I got it tested when I was down there at CarQuest, and it tested good. And I was like, can you check it one more time? And he was like, yeah, sure. So he tested it twice and it was fine. So somewhere I'm losing voltage. And this battery's not very old neither. I bought these this past winter. So I'll just keep fighting it, and you guys can come along and check it out. All right, I'm back at it. I think I figured it out. So I pull this wire, this ignition, this is the ignition switch right here. That white wire is not getting voltage from that red wire, but the red wire is putting voltage in, but it's just not coming out to the white wire, and that's the TCM wire. So if I hook my power probe to it, send power to it, everything works. Not weird? Yeah. So I pull the ignition switch out, clean the prongs inside of here on the back side right here. My hands are all dirty, sorry. Pull that cover off right there, that gray cover. Pull that off, and it's got like 3 copper fingers like this. When that ignition rolls over, it presses one up, presses the other one up, or presses them all up, or whatever. But I just cleaned the connection back there on the ignition switch, put it back up there, plugged it in, and now I'm gonna try it out, see if that was my problem. I'm pretty sure that was the problem, is the ignition switch. That's wild, isn't it? The ignition switch goes bad, then it causes all this transmission problems. Well, I don't know. It wasn't just that, I got other problems also, but you know, just weird stuff like that it's tied into. So, but I unplugged this right here that goes to my ignition clocking thing right here, and the wipers and all that. I unplugged that big harness right there while the key was on, and now my security light won't shut off, but the truck starts. So I don't know how to reset that, if I have to hard reset it or what, but I'm gonna go test drive it real quick, see. Ow, stupid mirror. Anyway, I'm gonna go test drive it, see if that fixed my problem. If it did, I'm gonna get a new ignition switch coming. Knowing me, I probably won't, I'll just keep fighting it all the time. But here we go, follow along. There it is. Duramax is fixed again, finally. It's always something, you know. Look at that, that looks good. We are out here in LaSalle, Utah. It's a little lake called Rattlesnake. I guess a lot of you would call it a pond. That's what Mike calls it anyway. But neat photo shoot. My wife's out here fishing. The girls are over there somewhere. So it's time to fish. The weekend away. What's that big fish that you got caught out of here? Was it a bass? I thought it was a trout. That is like as long as her leg.
No, it's as big as my arm. Fingertip to elbow.
Yep. Fingertip to arm.
To elbow.
To her elbow. What did I say arm for? I don't know. But I noticed a measuring stick. Here, we're gonna measure your arm. Yeah, about 16. That's how big that trout was. Yeah, it was enough to feed her and the girls.
Yeah.
I just, yeah, I cooked it up for them. And yeah, they munched on it and they got full and they didn't even eat the whole thing. Yeah. Anyway, there it is. She got new line in her.
Oh yeah, I ordered me a braided line.
Braided line.
And put it on today. Relined it.
She still hasn't cut her zip ties off yet. Her
I don't want to.
Anyway.
Look what she caught. I'm scared.
Yeah, look, a small bass.
Heck yeah.
Look, Cheyenne caught one. Why are you backing up? Look at that. That's a good size one. Good job. Oh, thought they got a baby one. Anyway, first fishing trip. It's coming together. Uh-oh. So close. Alright. Got the 65 in the shop. I'm on this side of the end of the shop because it's motor being pulled. So anyway, I gotta pull this back off and adjust my headlight up because I can't. They're way out of whack. See, can't even see them. Pointing right there and right there. So I'm just gonna raise them up a little bit and yeah, probably get them up to the bumper of that Jeep. Okay, lights are good. Anyway, this light is brighter than all the other ones. That one's dim. This one is bright. Both lights are on that one. And this back one, it's on. That one's on. So somewhere I have a bad ground because when I turn the turn signal light on, and this light stays on right here. Turn the key on. One blink, that's it. Then go the other way. That one blinks, but it's hyper flashing. But yeah, that one blinks. And then you get back here. That one's not blinking. This one's not blinking. And the license plate light is on, but it's not doing anything. And then you come over here and turn the the light to marker light. What the hell? It's not doing it now. But earlier it was blinking all the lights. Even the license plate light was blinking. Why is it not doing it now? Oh, I think it was turn the light off. Yeah, turn the lights off. Now it blinks. And even the license plate light blinks. This one, they both blink. This is the marker light, I think. And this one blinks. But not the marker light. See how the marker light's not blinking? So I'm assuming something's going on here. Like I'm missing a ground. Or something is going on. That one just flashes really fast. Yeah, hyper flash on this side. And nothing back here. So I'm gonna try to find this ground wire or whatever. Maybe it's this back side. It's missing a ground. So what I did was got all the grounds together right here, and I was gonna put a bolt right here, put that in right there. That didn't fix it neither. But these have a ground to the bulb, straight to the bulb, and ground to the, or a power to the light. And all the lights are like that. See, this one's still like that. And this one only calls for, the old style, only calls for 2 power wires and not a ground. 2 power wires and not a ground, because the ground is in the body. So I gotta figure that out. All right, I found maybe the problem. This is grounding. This whole thing is grounded. So I'm thinking maybe this wire, where'd it go? This one might be doing something funky. Which I thought this was a ground and this was a ground for the headlight and the high beam and the low beam, because that's what these are, high beam and low beam, because it's got to be grounded to work. But I don't know if that has anything to do with what I'm doing, trying to figure out what I'm doing or what's going on. So I'll hit this with the power probe and see if that's grounding right here on the headlight. Yeah, ground. The other one's power for high beam and the other one's power for low beam. So maybe I have too many grounds? Is that possible? Because this ground goes into this harness, which goes to this, which all these metal prongs in here are grounded. One should be a power wire, if that makes sense. Like this one. That one's a positive, that one's positive, that one's ground. One of these is a marker or a turn signal. I don't know if this has anything to do with it. This one's not grounded though. It's just working. This one I have power to it and it's blinking like it's supposed to, but it's not working. I mean, like, it has power and everything to it. I even checked the light bulb. Maybe it doesn't have enough to run that light bulb. Maybe I'll come over here and check these wires. See, this one is on. And this one is on. And it's wired up the same right here. So, let's see here. 1 ground on the headlight. Then it goes to 2 grounds. 2 grounds right there. And then a high beam and a low beam. So that's not the problem. Hey, what happened? Light shut off. Maybe ground in here? I don't know. Oh, my battery just died. Anyway, I'm gonna keep fighting it. All right, I got it figured out. It had nothing to do with this front light or this front light. When I ran this tail light, I thought this was a 3-way, but it ain't. It's this wire right here. It's just another marker light that went from this side to that side. That's why all my lights were blinking. My license plate light, this light, and the dash light was on. But now, blinking slow, moving slow, like it's supposed to. My lights are on, marker lights are on. Yeah. Tail lights on. Can't see it because it's bright out. Ta-da! Ready for burnout weekend.
Right?
See, he's got 2 tires right there.
35s on there for you?
Yeah. I don't know if they'll fit. They won't fit. Well, get a sawzall and make them fit. They'll fit on the front, I think.
I think Hector tried on the inside and the outside.
Just on everywhere.
Just everywhere. Yeah.
Well, he was originally wanted to do the front fender cutout on the rear.
Oh, put some big old meats on it?
Because the fenders are taller in the front than the rear.
Right. It's like the old Broncos.
Yeah.
When they used to come
Oh, yeah.
down like this. Covered half the tire.
That's how this one is. Oh well. Maybe on the next one.
Next time.
Next time. There it is. Bye. Alright. Got all the lights. All the wires zip tied up. Out of the way. Both sides. See that bundle mess? And then I got the rears all tidied up so they're not hanging down anymore. These are my license plate lights, so I gotta figure out the license plate. But yeah, that's done. All the lights are working now. That's wicked cool. So if you guys remember the door I got off the truck at Nations for the Duramax, I stole the AC line also. One of them. The other one was cut. The one I needed was cut right here. But for some reason they didn't cut this one. They actually unbolted it. That was kind of weird. But check this out. I need it because right here it splits, goes to the back. So it wires off here and then goes to the back. I don't need that part anymore, so I'm going to replace it with this one. but it's easy to get to there. But down here, there's no room. So I'm gonna fight it for a little bit until I get tired, and then keep fighting it until it's off. So here we go. All right, what a fight. Man, that one was a fight. The easy part was getting it off of there, but the hard part is putting it back together, because I massaged the old line to fit the new, because it shortened up 2 inches in the front. So now I got to bend this without breaking it and slide it back on. Look how much bending I have to do in it. So then on this one, I'm thinking maybe I could just unscrew this and maybe somehow kind of weld this piece shut. Just put a big glob of weld on it. Maybe, I don't know. I'll take it apart and look at it. But now I don't have that one hose going down. That one will get deleted out too. And then I'll have AC. Take it down to the local shop and get an AC, put AC in it. Need to clean the filter. Look at that. I just noticed it. Dang, that's dirty. Dirty. And I need to figure out a mount for the computer so it doesn't arc out here again. It arced out right there. Way back when. It was scary. But maybe I'll just build it, put it here on this plastic lid, and that'll protect it from falling on the battery and the fuse panel. Click. What made it easier was pulling this bolt out that holds the condenser in. Condenser? Condenser. I can't even say it now. But anyway, check that out. So I'm gonna see if you guys can watch me fight with this one. Hopefully I don't break it or stress the line, you know. That would really suck. Bending it right there, bending it right there. Oh yeah, I think it's gonna work. There we go. Right here. As long as it hits the ground, we'll be all right. There it is. And yes, they had the O-rings in it when I pulled it apart, and when I put it back in. There's that one. There's the nut right there. Oh yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna put this nut back on here and maybe cut this and just fold it for now so dust and debris don't get in it. So here we go. All right, so I just cut it, crimped it with the vise, and maybe I can convince Micah just welding it lightly and it'd be welded shut. Then pressurize it and see if that works. If it doesn't, we'll try a different solution. But in theory, it should work, right? Know what I mean? Or no? Anyway, there it is. think I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna call it a win. I think it's a win. What do you guys think? Wiring, that's always a win if you could figure stuff out on wiring. Wiring is done. It's tied up. The rear is done. It's tied up. Tomorrow I can clean up some of that wiring because that's just mostly like junction blocks and whatnot. I'll tie all these up. I gotta make sure I leave this switch out so I can do some burnouts. That's the radio, you know, this little stuff, and she could be registered and driving around. It could be, but it'll be a little bit. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If I come up with anything else that's easier, I will be back in 2 seconds. But for now, have a good night. Thanks for watching, and I really enjoy the comments. Keep on commenting and like and subscribe and share, or do whatever you want. Anyway, have a good night.